Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, this is the second Saturday garden stroll that I'm going to be doing. I'm gonna, I think, continue doing more Saturday garden strolls. Uh, I'd like to start off with an old saying, and that old saying is use up, wear out, make do, or do without. Now, that's an old saying that people had back in the day when it wasn't as easy to acquire items, and they made use of things as best they could. Now, what you're looking at here is the remains of an old play set. It was one of those forts with the swing set built on it. It was on this property when I bought it, and I disassembled it. As you see here, there's a concrete slab underneath here. Uh, these are wood that was part of the set. So I've been rummaging through the wood to repurpose and reuse. And after I'm done picking through this, I'm going to dispose of the rest of it. But I'm going to think it through pretty thoroughly and see what I can make use of that falls in line with the scheme of self sufficiency. Make and do. Use up, wear out, make do, or do without. So let's see what's going on here in the garden. Oh, let's take a look over here. This is an idea. Right here, sending back to the earth what came to the earth. Tree branches that were trimmed down, other wood, extra limbs, all cut up, can be used as firewood. Right now I'm using it as a little retaining wall here. And as you see, as I have soil that's coming from other locations in the yard, I cover it over so it can break down and add organic material to the soil. And later on at some time, this will get dug up again and reused and screened. And who knows, it might be a nice garden plot back here someday, or just some grass. Because even grass itself is a good thing. It's very good to have enough lawn and grass on a property in order to mulch the garden. If you're going to try to be food independent, or at least subsidize what it does as far as cost for the food intake that you have, you might as well make use of everything that you have. Now, here is the onion bed that I did. It's a box. It's a 7 foot by 7 foot box, and I transplanted onions into it. And I got some imposters in here. They're kind of camouflaged. They grow quicker than the onions grow. Right here, I don't know what kind of weed these suckers are, but they go pretty deep, just like the onions do. Heck, they might even be some kind of wild onion, but I don't think so. I think it's something else that's actually unhealthy to eat. So I wouldn't just eat something that I don't know what it is. But anyhow, there's a bunch of those in there, so I guess I got to weed those out after I get some grass clippings. It looks like within the next couple of days, I'll be cutting the grass again and using more grass clippings in the yard. I'll go off this direction here to the main garden area. Main garden area is the garden area that I started out here first this season. And I made a walking path, and I made some raised bed areas and boxed in areas. But this is where things are going. The beans are going pretty good. There's a lot of flowers that are coming onto these beans. These were the ones that were planted most recent. And there's a lot of beans that are going to be coming onto these. Against that fence line is the cucumbers, which are coming along pretty good, up and over the fence. The turnips are really coming in now that I have them mulched in. That's one of the things about gardening is plants, a lot of plants don't mind the heat and the sun, but a hot root system is not good. So this mulch has helped to cool down the root system and add some nitrogen to the soil. So these turnips are starting to take off pretty good. Hopefully they have a nice harvest of turnips. I just harvested another yellow squash a short time ago. There's quite a few squash activities going on in here. Same in this one here. I'll probably have one or two of them in a week. The tomatoes are doing all right. They got flowers. The leaves are kind of small. I think it has more to do with the variety of these tomatoes. I think I'm going to have to go with a different variety. And here's the first planting of the cucumbers right here. And they're getting really high. I had to start tying them onto the top of the fence and make them go sideways. But that's all right. As you see, there's a lot of flowers going on there. There should be some healthy number of cucumbers on this plant. There's some that are visible at this point in time, but they're very small. I got a little bit of lettuce going on here that has started. I have to have a place to put it, and I think I know where I want to put it. I got some spinach that have come up, but I have plenty of seeds on here. I got a couple years worth of seeds on hand, so I can plant more once I have the location straightened out. I'm not overly concerned about it. This section's doing really good. I had got the pole beans in. They're Blue Lake pole beans, and they're in the back. And this fence goes all the way up to the eave of the house. And that's my trellis for my pole beans. Next season, I'll have those in the ground first growing, and I'll have my tomatoes grow them as seedlings, same as the squash, and wait till I have the pole beans up to a reasonable height before I put the tomatoes and the squash in the ground. I was just trying to get things planted, and I wasn't sure of the arrangement that I was going to create here before I did it. Now I do, so now I know what to replicate. But my cucumbers in this row over here, which are in between my wax beans and my snow peas, they're starting to get big. I have to put up a fence here today. I have my posts in place. These are 4-foot long posts, which are for a 3-foot fence. When you buy these metal fence posts, what you have to do is always consider that extra 1 foot that's going to be pounded into the ground. At one time, when you bought fence posts, that would be considered a 3-foot fence post. The measurement wouldn't include the piece that goes into the ground. Evidently, to make things sound like the person's getting more than what they're getting, that's the way advertising is. Advertising has gotten really vague, and that's the direction it's gone. This is the kind of fence that I'm using. This is a 3-foot fence. It's like a chicken wire fence, but it's coated. I think it's a vinyl coating is what's on it. I bought this because it looks better, and I think it's going to last longer. It should, because it won't rust quickly. I don't know how long it'll take before it starts rusting, but I'm going to find out. I think it was worthwhile to get this. Yesterday, I did a little digging and making some more boxes right here. Got 3 boxes. Each one of them is 3 feet in length, and each one of them will fit 4 bok choy cabbages, which is Chinese cabbage. If you ever had chop suey, then you've had bok choy. It's put into other, I call them Chinese food dishes, but really it's American food. A lot of the food that we call Chinese food in America is an American Chinese type cooking. But nonetheless, that's what it is. These winter squashes are coming along pretty good. I had to start tying these things up to the fence this week several times. And that's a good thing. These things got to get going so that they can get grown up, so that I can have something for the fall time and for the winter time. stuff that comes out of my garden is what I would like to eat. It'd be nice to be able to be food independent, at least on the vegetable situation. This is my sweet potatoes. Before, what's underneath there, which I can't lift. This is a children's swimming pool that I got a hole cut into it, and I put it on top of the planting pot. The planting pot is a fabric planting pot, and it's 16 inches tall. And then the swimming pool is about 8 inches tall, and that gives me my first 24 inches. Now I got a second swimming pool that I just got it sitting on top because the soil is settling. And after it's settled, I'll add some more to it, and I'll put another layer and keep adding soil to it, because with the sweet potatoes, what they'll do is when these vines are touching the ground at these locations where the leaves are, they'll grow more roots, which will grow more sweet potatoes. So I'm going to continue that up in the manner of what people call potato towers, which they typically do with white potatoes. But you have to have the right kind of white potatoes in order to do that. Some potatoes, they just set one layer, and it doesn't matter how much you mound soil, they don't grow additional layers of potatoes. My carrots, not quite sure. I got some green coming up. Some of the stuff looks the same, these little greens. Not sure if they're the carrots or not. Here's one of those weeds again. I'll pick that sucker out of there. But I'm going to give it some more time to see if those are actually carrots that are coming up there. The carrots that I got are called Parison carrots. They're a gourmet carrot. They're round like radishes, and they grow to be a couple inches in diameter, 2 inches to be precise. And I want to give them a try because they're supposed to be good to use with clay soil. I have a lot of clay soil here. Looks like I got a flower. You can see that. I'm just going to reach over the fence. That's a really nice heirloom type rose that has a lot of aroma to it. Some roses really don't have a lot of aroma. And I thought I'd just show a little bit of an update of the garden. And there again, the beans. Look at the amount growing on those beans. Oh my goodness. Oh, there's a bean. Oh heck yeah. There it is. First bean that I've seen of the season. There's probably more in there. I just haven't seen them. They camouflage. Yeah, there is. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look at that. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of them, but heck, there's a couple dozen flowers going on there. There's going to be some beans coming in. Okay. Well, you all have a good day. You all have a good weekend. And I'll see you all around.